Hey, this is Steve. You're either checking out the Texit mining coin affiliate thing, or you're already on the team. If you are, welcome somewhere in the family. My background is I spent about 30 years in these type of fund-based business, mostly in supplements, but I also have a degree in economics and business German. I like analytical things, and honestly, if you had told me before this that I would be doing a affiliate style crypto thing, I'd be like, no. Those things are always bad, and they usually are because I've had a lot of friends do these, make money and lose a lot. And often when I looked at it, I'm like, like I'm not a dumb guy. I understand what you're actually doing to make money instead of besides just making money. And so I never trusted them when they didn't make sense. But I love the story behind Texas Coin. I love the owner. I love the functionality of it. I especially love actually all the limits placed on how much you can make and how fast it can grow. Because that's more of a culture that's long term instead of open dumb, get rich quick. Anyways, what I want to do today for you is I want to um, talk to you about a few strategies. Okay. So, having done a lot of business like this, there are some strategies you can do which can dramatically increase how much money you make. And so, I'm going to give you a few of these strategies. So down the road, you're not like, wish somebody told me that. So we're gonna give the inside scoop. Obviously, it's not investing advice. And with something like this, any money you put in this, you should not put any money in this that you can't afford to just lose. Okay? That's just basic advice. Okay. If you want to be in investing, you have to be able to invest in enough things that you finally hit one that really goes instead of thinking that the first one is going to be awesome and you put too much money in and it doesn't work and you can't get any other opportunities. So a couple things about these type of businesses. Some people say it's not a network marketing company. I looks like a network marketing company. I would call it a network marketing company. So um, these type of businesses speed, love speed. And the shorter sales cycle you can get, the better. What do I mean by this? You want to grow a large team, okay? What if someone's interested and they decide to do it and it takes 3 days for them to get going, or it takes a week for them to get going. Okay. And then it takes the next person 3 days, a week. And the next person, you understand that slows everything down versus, someone goes, yeah, I want to do it. Let me get you going today, this afternoon. And you're already talking to your cousin who's super on fire for it and they get going too, right? It's like very, very, very quick. So, um, first of all, a couple things. One, let's go. I'm going to screen share actually to a whiteboard here real quick. And couple things first. Okay, we have that one, and we're going to look at the other one as well here. So I am going to put a decent amount of information on texitfaq.com, links to everything. We do that so that anyone asks you a question, you can always just give one simple answer. Cool. I'm pretty sure the information you want is at exitfaq.com, right? You don't need to be an expert to build a business like this. You need to have enthusiasm. You need to be able to point people to resources. Okay. Don't be the tool. Use tools. That's very basic. Okay. Because you don't want just people to decide to buy miner from you. You want a whole bunch of people go, could totally do what you're doing. Okay, so that's just some basic advice. Texitfaq.com. Um, their website has excellent information actually, and let's take a quick look at that. Um, okay, hold on a second here. I'm going to go to. All right, so on their website, minepxc.com, you can click on this rapid reward button, which I don't think you're seeing. Let me see here. 1 second. All right. On their website. Keeps on wanting to push me to another spot. Screens. Okay. There we go. on their Mind TXC website, there's a lot of great information, actually. They've really done an excellent job, even as a very young company, of putting a lot of resources and tools out there. It makes my job much easier. So the Rapid Rewards program goes through the compensation plan. Okay. We'll go through that a bit. It is a binary that flushes excess out every week, and you can make up to in increments of 1,000, 2,000, or $3,000 per income center, right? And so that goes through that a bit there. Excellent information on the help button here. Articles like, hey, new miners start here, how to get your money, how to get it back into your bank account if you want. All that very, very, very detailed here. So one thing to keep in mind is that you're going to have a lot of people, I think, with this who don't actually have a lot of experience with crypto. And there's like, they'll tend to freeze, like, what if I screw up? So the help button has a lots of resources there. Also, um, you can use ChatGPT. Just have a conversation with ChatGPT. Hey, I want to do this with crypto and move it over here. Help me. Right? And ChatGPT will give you instructions. If you get stuck, you just screenshot what's going on and you upload it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will go, okay, cool, you're at this spot. Here's the next step. Excellent, excellent resource, right? So first, let's talk about the go back to our whiteboards here. First, we're going to go back to, all right, speed. Adding the minor button versus link. So there's two different ways to enroll people, okay? And we're going to show you those two different ways real quick. So last thing here. And back to screen. All right. The two different ways to do that are in your back office. I'm in someone else's back office here, not mine. If you log in at mindtxt.com/sign in, by the way, if you're having trouble signing in, try using incognito browser. So if I go under my profile and I go down and see this button right here, and I copy and paste that, that is my affiliate link. Okay. Now, the problem with the affiliate link is that um, someone puts all their information in, but you don't actually get into the system until you pay, and you're paying with crypto. So there's not a place to put in your credit card information or anything like that when you hit that affiliate link button. Okay. What happens then is they are going to text, the Texit company is going to text, phone text, the person who's trying to enroll with payment instructions. Okay. And not until Texit actually gets the crypto, because you have to pay in crypto, is the account actually turned on, right? And so there can be some delays in that. And remember, this type of business loves speed. I've especially had, for some reason, a couple of foreign friends who are trying to get going, and they're like, I fill out the thing Wednesday, I haven't heard back from them. Okay. Then you have to text them back and forth and try and figure it out. That takes a bit, right? So the other option is this. You can you can hit the sponsor button, and you can add right there, the sponsor button on the left, and you click on here and add new miner. Okay. And so you can do this with them maybe over Zoom or something, or in person, put all their information in here. And then the next page or two, it's going to prompt you to pay. Okay. So you're going to need a wallet address for your crypto wallet. Okay. Boom. You need to have all of the money already available in that crypto wallet, because that will be active for 15 minutes and then it goes to the graveyard, right? So you don't have forever to pay. So the person you're enrolling is like, yeah, I got all the money in my crypto wallet. I know what I'm doing. I'm ready to go. Boom. And you can do that, add miner, and you can get them going like right away. And the advantage of that is then they're excited. They can start the business today. They can start telling people, and your business grows like that, right? Now, here's something to think about. If we are going to have a fair amount of people who really don't know much about crypto, you're like, hey, Bob, cool. let's get going. Bob's like, this looks awesome. What do I do? Okay, Bob, you have to have a crypto wallet. In other words, online, you have to have the money, maybe US dollars, into an online crypto wallet, convert your dollars to some form of digital currency, have it sitting there, and then you're going to pay. It's like, great. Well, the problem is if Bob's new to this, there's a lot of layers of security on doing that. Bob could go online, watch the instructions, sort of a Coinbase wallet or a Kraken wallet, get his money in there, and guess what now? He's going to have to wait a week till it matures in there just to make sure that nothing fishy is going on, right? So you just had Bob wait a week, okay? So as you build this business and you're starting to make good money and you're withdrawing some funds, here's an idea. What if you kept some crypto in your wallet? Then, if Bob wants to sign up, I'm like, awesome, Bob. You give me the money and I will pay it for you today and we'll get you going. Okay. Maybe you trust Bob. You're like, look, pay me back next week with crypto, or you're like, give me the cash right now or Zelle me or whatever. Okay. That's just a strategy going forward that you should think about. Okay. So the next strategy we're going to talk about is um, signing up. Like, what options do you have? How do you structure your business? Different things like that, and that we're going to get a little more complicated now. Before I do this, again, this is a binary compensation plan. Some of you watching this are like, "Oh yeah, I've done the binary. I'm an expert." Some of you who are new to this, you're going to be like, "The what?" And if someone tries to explain a binary to you, your brain's going to melt. You'll be like, I don't understand. Okay, so my job here is not to try and explain binary compensation plan to you. Here's what I want you to do. Go on YouTube, type in YouTube, explaining binary compensation plan. Okay, and watch a few YouTubes with some really nice graphics until your brain goes, click, I got it. Okay, so front, I will say I'm not always a fan of binaries. Honestly, people with a lot of experience tend to do very well in binaries. This type of business, when we're just selling one um, item like that, I think a binary works pretty well here. But just understand that there's strategies to a binary that the experts can take advantage of and do really well. And so we're going to give you the inside scoop on some of that. Okay, so let's go and talk about that real quick. First of all, we go to, okay, where did our whiteboard go? Hold on. All right, we're back. So again, that's where you can look at the details of the compensation plan. Simple compensation plan. Okay. So the binary pays weekly. Okay. Binary, what it just means is buy two legs. As volume is generated in the two legs every week, it pays out. So it typically matches volume on the left to volume on the right and pays you a check. Okay. So does this in increments of three miners on one side and three on another, pays you $1,000. Okay. Six on one side, six on the other, pays you 2,000. Nine on one side, nine on the other, pays you 3,000. So and that's the max for Infinite Center. So in scenario one, this person comes in, they're like, okay, give me a miner. Great. Okay. And you see that they have one income center with this miner. Okay. And maybe they don't do anything initially, and after a while, they're like, my line in the brown signed a bunch of people up underneath me, and I have one leg that's very strong. But in order to get paid, I have to match it. So then you go back, you're like, I think I'm going to do this, and you go back and you start building your business, and you're like, um, great, I'm making $3,000 a month, and I just maxed out my one income center. Okay. If instead you decide to purchase three separate positions, okay, and keep in mind that each one of those is a minor, okay? So at the amount you're getting per day right now, if the price of the coin does not increase at all, you would likely get your money back on each one of those little nodes in about 200 days. And in general, that is an amazing investment. Of course, we want to make a little bit more money. Just keep in mind. So again, this is advice. I'm going to tell you on how you could spend a little bit more money. But again, this is advice for people who are like, you could afford to lose this. Okay. Just super clear on that. So if instead you're like, this solution strategy, I'm not maybe I'm already gung ho about it. Or maybe I'm like, we'll see. Maybe instead you open up three positions, one on the top, one on your left leg, one on your right leg. Then after that, you have your upline where it's building, dropping people underneath the right-hand side. And a while later, you come back, you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to start building this. And you start putting people on the left-hand side. So it's the left-hand side of the first one and the left-hand side of the second position here. And what's going to happen is you're going to start getting paid $3,000 a week max on your first income center. After a while, you're like, man, my business is freaking okay, but I'm maxed out on that first income center. What can I do? Well, great. You can come back and you can build the other leg in red here of one or both of these other income centers because they're already sitting there with enough volume on one side that just needs to be matched. Okay. So it's possible in this scenario with the same amount of effort and same amount of people you enrolled eventually, that instead of making $3,000 a week, you actually are making $9,000 a week. Does that make sense? That is, let's go doing math in public. Better than 3,000. And again, maybe, for example, maybe you sign up and let's see if we can just go this here. Maybe, right? So I sign up. This is me, right? I'm like, I just get one income center, no problem. And my upline here starts putting a lot of people in, right? And down the road, I'm like, oh man, this is insane. I'm gonna get going, right? So you decide you're gonna start signing people up. But before you do, you know what you're gonna do? Maybe you're gonna sign up your spouse on this top of this leg first before you start building it. And then you're going to start putting people underneath that, right? Maybe your first focus is just to get this first income center here for $3,000 a week. But down the road, you've already built, we have just an infinite amount of people coming in over here and coming in over here. Well, you know what? Now I'm going to start putting people down this other leg here, right? I'm going to start building this leg here. And I'm going to grow this income center here till that one's also $3,000 a week. Okay, that makes sense. So let's a couple other strategies here for you. All right, a couple things. One, there's some there's some strategies on the week. So it's a business week. You get paid like business week goes until Friday at about 7 p.m. They stop signups. Okay. Now you can the way if you're signing up a bunch of people, they have to be put in your organization, right? You can either have it default to, hey, I want to put everything on the left, I want to put everything on the right, or I want to do it manually. Okay. And I'll tell you where to do that. If you do it manually, you're going to have to email them and say, hey, put Bob, and his username is Bob Lucky underneath Susie and her username, right? And so the signups stop at Friday at 7 p.m. By Saturday at noon, and these are all Eastern Standard Times. Saturday by noon, all the placements have to be in place. And Sunday, we start a new business week, and hopefully by Wednesday, they pay you. Okay, so this is a weekly thing, right? So you have to keep that in mind as you're building. Now, one thing to remember, and hopefully I have this on a whiteboard as well. I think I do. Did I put that here? Or did I put that on the one? Let's see here. All right. So here's an important thing to understand. Weekly, anything, and this is under the rewards program, has this explained. Weekly, anything over 9 per side flushes. Okay. So for example, I have 700 people on my left. I have 2 people on the right with flushes. Then I will have anything over 9 flushes, right? So I'm left with 9 and 2, and I didn't get paid. Okay. Um, if I had 12 on one side and nine on the other side, again, nine on one side and nine on the other side, what does it do? It pays you $3,000, right? That takes out nine on each side, zeroed out. But it also gets rid of anything over nine. So those three extra are also gone. Okay. Now, what if you're getting towards the end of the week and you have nine on one side and nine on the other, and a bunch of your teammates are like, oh, we're about to sign up, more people. You might be like, hey, how about instead of enrolling those people Friday before Friday, maybe let's do it Sunday. Why? Because the first same amount of effort you would start the week out with on the left. Okay, so it's just a little bit of a strategy there. So my wife says, make sure they know it's Miner instead of Minor. Yes, I'm talking about minors, mine ors. That's true. So, really quickly, I want to share with you where you would do placement preferences. Okay. So, if I want to choose where the placement is, I click on that upper right-hand corner icon. I go down here, scroll down, click on profile. Then in the middle, I'm going to click on edit. Okay. I will enter the password there, enter the password there, and it's going to email me a verification code to put in there so people don't mess with it. And that's where you would change it from manual or refer to left or refer to right. Okay. Also, that is where you would change your preference on how you're going to get paid. They're going to go, hey, we got some money for you. Would you like it in dollars? Would you like it in crypto? Would you like it in more miners? Would you like it? So you have some options there, right? They're going to send you a cold storage coin wallet. I don't really understand that. We'll do some more videos on that. Or a Kraken account. I might put my wallet address in my Kraken and go, yeah, send it to my Kraken account, the cash, right? So, anyways, hope that's helpful. You have a little bit more ideas for strategies. A couple things in terms of the sign up options. You can buy one miner, $9.95. You can buy three for a little less than $1,000, right? If you buy three currently, you may change the special. Currently, they'll say, hey, thanks for buying three. We're going to give you an extra node slash miner as well. So you would have four, but you're still only getting one income center in the binary. Does that make sense? If you're like, hey, I got some cash sitting around, this looks awesome. For about $9,000, you get nine miners and three free ones. But with that option, you also get three income centers in the binary. Okay. So here's an idea for if you're someone who's like, I am not going to tell another living soul, I'm willing to invest $3,000 in this. Cool. Buy the three pack, you get an extra one. It's a great deal. If you're like, oh, I'll be telling some people about this, awesome. Instead of buying the three pack, open an account for $9.95, then sponsor two other positions in. You can do it your name, your spouse's name, like just the username has to be different. Okay, they don't really care about that. So you're spending the same amount of money, you're getting three positions in the binary. You're not getting that extra miner, uh, but now you have the opportunity to really leverage the compensation in the binary, like we talked about. So for someone who is going to share, that's a way better deal for your money than buying a free pack and getting an extra miner. So, anyways, that helps. We're having fun. And, if you have any questions, let us know.